to another makeup tutorial. Today I'm doing a celebrity recreation look. I'm redoing a look that Kylie Jenner was wearing in a photo advertising her brand new makeup collection. I decided to recreate the look with some older products that you guys actually might have in your collection. One of them is the Kylie Jenner eyeshadow palette, but I'll be honest, I actually use a ton of random palettes in this video to try and recreate this look, so chances are you might have one of them in your collection. And yeah, without further ado, let's get on with the tutorial. So for this look, we're going to be using a cluster of products. I tried to find everything in my collection that kind of really resembled what she has in her new collection, which is the makeup that she's wearing for this picture. Now, of course, you could just purchase her collection when it comes out, so you could, have the products to create this exact look. So I want to show you guys how you could get this look with some products you might have at home. I'm super pumped. We're going to be using some old products and some new products in this video. So let's just go ahead and get started. So I'm going to be doing the eyes first, but I want to kind of prep my skin and let it kind of soak in before we move on to the rest of the makeup. This is the Ulta Beauty 24 Karat Magic Beauty Oil that I've been loving lately. Seriously, if you're into your beauty oils, or if you've seen the Farsali oils, which I also super duper love, but they are definitely more expensive, you need to check out this Ulta Beauty Oil. I will link it down below for you guys. It works just as well as my Farsali expensive ones. It's got the little gold flecks in there, which I don't really care too much about. I don't think they do anything. People say they do, but I don't know if I buy it. I like how it kind of plumps my skin. It makes it more supple for the makeup. Also, if you can tell, it doesn't like drip. It's not ultra liquidy. I could definitely use this in place of a moisturizer in the daytime if I wanted to. It's just fantastic. It smells super fresh. It's not like a heavy perfume scent. Next, we need to prime our lids, of course, so I'm going to take my Benefit Stay Don't Stray eyeshadow primer. I love this. It's been one of my faves for a very long time. Oh my goodness, feels like I need a new one. Looks like it's getting a little dried out. Hope I can still blend it on. Had this for so long. I definitely need a new one. And then under the brow, something I've been in the habit of using again lately, this is my Benefit Cosmetics Highbrow Pencil. And this you just drag underneath your eyebrow. I know you guys are pros, you are totally probably already aware of this, but I just really like it as my highlight base there. Just like that, and then I'll blend it out. This is my E15 eyeliner brush from Sigma Beauty, and I will just take this little brush, and it's kind of nice because the product kind of helps to carve out your brow. If you're not used to carving your brows, or if it's just one extra step you don't want to do, this kind of doubles as a really nice natural brow highlight, but also carves out and cleans up your underbrow area. By the way, I want to thank you guys so much who let me know that my Sigma Beauty discount code was not working, and that was very kind of you to tell me. I really appreciate that. So if you were trying to use my affiliate code, but you were having difficulties, it is up and running now. So first, to prep our lids for the shadows, I'm going to jump into the Urban Decay Naked Petite Heat Palette, which is super cute. I'm sure you guys have seen it by now, but it looks like this. It's just a mini version of their Naked Heat palette. And we're first going to jump into the shade Inhale with my Sigma E50 shader brush. And I'm going to pop that right underneath the brow to start. Just kind of lock in our highlight there. And then I just like to pounce all over the lid to lock in our primer. Next, I'm going to jump into the Kylie Cosmetics Knotty palette. I just got this because it was on sale on her website, which I was so excited for because I missed out on it the first time it went up. So we're going to be trying it out today. I'm first going to take the shade Tipsy with the E40 blending brush from Sigma. I'm going to be sure to tap off that excess really well. Her smoky eye does not go super far up her eye, and you actually really can't see much of a transition tone in the actual picture. So I want to keep this pretty lightweight and pretty close to our crease. So just kind of fluff that all around the lid very lightly. I was so excited to get this palette, but I was really upset that I missed the first one. So if you guys, or the Nice version, I think it was called. So if you guys see that one go up and I miss it, definitely tweet me out, that girl SHAEXO. Let me know that it's up for sale again. It might even be up right now and I just don't even know it. But when I was buying this one, it was still sold out, or it had at least sold out when they went up for clearance. So I was hoping to get my hands on it, but I didn't. From here in the same palette, we're going to jump into the beautiful emerald shade. Oh, I love just looking at this, but again, don't take too much. About this is all I'm going to take. You can hardly see it on the brush. We're going to work in smaller proportions and just kind of build up to what we need. So again, hers does not go super far out, this smoky eye. I'm going to stay pretty close to my crease on this one. You know I love to blow out a smoky eye, so it's going to hurt me to try and keep it more close to my crease than usual. And that's why we want to work with like lesser amounts of shadow and kind of build up to what we want. So starting in my outer V there, I'm going to distribute that shadow. start to work it in all the way to the inner part of the eye. We're going to have it going completely around because she has a nice full smoky eye. This is a great look to do if you have more hooded lids because it's not super strategic. Like, you don't need to have a lot of gaps or a lot of lid space to pull off this look at all. So just kind of carving all around that lid. Now we're going to start building it up right on this inner half. Again, being careful not to over blend it. I know I'm really driving that point home, but we just want to make sure we keep this pretty low, as low as we can. We're actually just going to stick with that same blending brush, that same shade, and now close it all in on the lid. So just distribute that everywhere and melt it into your crease. It shouldn't be so hard at this point. Just to really try to coat that all over the lid nicely. Make sure it's nice and opaque. And then we're going to top some stuff on top of it to kind of give us the shimmer she has going on. Okay, I told you guys we're going to be jumping around here a lot. I was not kidding. Next, I'm going to jump into my Kat Von D Serpentina palette, which I don't even know if I've ever used, you guys. Oh, it looks like I have used it, though. Don't even know what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to go into the shade Scrub. I don't know that word. I'm going to take this shade here called Scrub, whatever the hell that is, and I'm going to pop that on the lid. Yes, there we go. To get a bit more of a metallic finish. Just pack that on there. I always want to use this palette, but like I don't ever know how to use it without just using one single shade. Do you know what I mean? Because it's kind of like all like almost like primary colors in a way. It's got a red, a blue, an orange. So I always want to use it, but I never know how to. So I'm glad we're using it today. Can you hear the geese outside? They're having so much fun today. It's a nice day out. They're swimming in the lake. If you don't know, I live on a lake, so, but I love it so much. It's crazy, but it's been weirdly really good for my anxiety and like my depression. It's just like ultra calming, and I always feel happy when I go outside and look at it. Oh, how royal is that eye color? I freaking love this eyeshadow. So now I'm going to spritz my brush with a bit of the Too Faced Hangover spray. Same shader brush we were using. Ooh. We're going to take the Urban Decay Moondust palette, one of my favorite palettes in the world. She's just so beautiful. All sparkle, all metallic, all shine. We're of course going to pop into this more lime greeny shade. So this is called Lightyear. I think the key here is just not to have too much on your shader brush. Add more if you need it. Don't get too carried away with it right away. I'm just going to place that on the lid. We are so close, but it is no cigar yet. I'm going to take the L'Oreal Infallible shadow in the shade Golden Emerald, and that's what we need. We need more of like a golden base emerald. Like this shade I think will be closer to what she has. So I'm actually just going to spritz my finger with some of the setting spray. Just got a bit on my finger now, and I'm just gonna start pressing that all over the lid. Yes, this is what we needed. L'Oreal Infallible, I hope you're still available. Do you guys remember when the L'Oreal Infallible shadows first came out? People were losing their minds in the beauty community. It was like a really exciting time for us, and everyone was obsessed with the Amber Rush shade. I mean, it's still to this day is like one of the best rose gold shadows ever. So if they still make these, let me know. My eyes are like so irritated with me doing all this layering. They're getting so red, so I'm sorry about that. I'm not stoned. I hate when people say that. I have very sensitive eyes. People are like, you look stoned. I'm like, well, thanks for saying that when this is my job. Do I accuse you of being stoned at your job? No. So I'm actually gonna take my Heavy Metal Distortion gel liner, or not gel liner, it's the Urban Decay. What are these called? The Heavy Metal Glitter Eyeliners. And I'm gonna lightly kind of put a bit of that on the lid. Hers isn't like a straight up glitter lid. There's just lots of sparkle that I'm trying to recreate. So pretty. It might be a little bit more glittery than Kylie's is, but you know, I mean, it is a recreation, but it might not be exact, but that's okay. So next, I know we're jumping all around, you guys. I'm going to pop into the Kathleen Lights Colourpop palette, and I'm going to take this shade here, which is called Mermaid Boy. It's a very, very light teal-y shade. Kylie's look kind of seems to have like this just brightness on the inner corner, but it's a little green. So I think this shade actually will be perfect. And I just want to add some of that right on the inside of the eye. This look is actually going to be so great for St. Patrick's Day. I wasn't even thinking about that. Oh my gosh, speaking of St. Patrick's Day, it's so funny. I tweeted out a picture of Irish potatoes last night, which is a huge tradition in Philadelphia. I live in the tri-state area, if you didn't know. I live right outside of Philadelphia. And so every year around this time, Irish potatoes come out, and they are so popular here. But when I tweeted them, no one knew what the hell they were. So if you know what Irish potatoes are, thumbs up for you guys. I'm just taking a blending brush to kind of blur that out now. But basically, if you go look on my Twitter, you can see what they are. But they are little coconut cream balls little coconut balls. Sounds funny to say. And they are coated in a cinnamon powder, and they're just delicious. They're just delicious little yummy coconut cinnamon treats. But when I tweeted them, I wasn't expecting so many people to be like, what are those? Are those, because they look like potatoes. That's why they're called, you know, Irish potatoes. People are like, are those mini individually wrapped potatoes? I was like, no, they're not actual potatoes, but they look just like them. So next we're gonna pop over to the face before we finish up our eyeshadow today. So I'm gonna take the Fenty Beauty primer, get a little bit of that, and prime our skin. Oh, my skin feels so soft from that oil. I'm obsessed with that oil. I love this primer too. It really feels like it actually fills in my pores. Do you know what I mean? So from here for foundation, I'm going to mix two foundations. This is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage in the shade Light Medium Neutral, but it's still a little too dark for me. So I'm going to mix in my Fenty Beauty 140 Pro Filler Foundation. The shade is 140. Let me get a bit of that on the back of my hand. Ah, the sun is setting so beautifully on the water. It's just so nice. It's been so rainy and glum here in New Jersey. It's nice to just see color again. Do you know what I mean? So I'm taking my Sigma Beauty Flat Kabuki F80 brush, and I'm going to use that to distribute the foundation all over my skin. Hopefully I didn't take too much of the Tarte foundation because it tends to be a little deep on me. I'm actually really, really low on foundation, so that's why you see me getting super creative with foundation today. I'm just going to distribute that everywhere and then start blending it in. Are you guys so ready for summer? I cannot take this crappy weather anymore. I swear, this is like the worst winter that I can remember. It's just been cold every day, and if it's not freezing cold, it's raining and windy, and ugh. I'm worried this might be a little dark, so I'm actually going to carry it down onto my neck. I need to go running. I need to play Pokemon again. I know you guys think I'm so corny because I play so much Pokemon Go, but I can't help it, and also I really credit Pokemon Go to a lot of my weight loss, which, like I told you guys in one of my recent videos, I have put some weight back on again, which is fine. I'm still actually really happy with where I'm at. I put on about 15 pounds throughout the winter, and it's just because I have not been being like active at all. I went from running every single day to kind of being a couch potato because the weather's been so crappy, and I don't do gyms. I'm not a gym person. I need to be like in the outdoors where I can feel like the gravel under my feet and like the real, you know, just earth. And then for concealer, I am taking my Urban Decay Light All-Nighter Concealer. We're gonna go under the eyes. I like to go on the side of the nose like this to kind of aid in my contouring process, and then bring it out underneath. If that's too much concealer for you, NBD, y'all. I also want to do a bit down the center of the nose and in the middle of the forehead. That and a little on the chin. Give us some dimension because this foundation is definitely a little too dark for me, so I want to lighten a few parts of it back up. And I'm going to take my Sigma Beauty blending sponge and blend that all in, as you do. Have you guys tried the all-nighter concealer yet? If you have, let me know your thoughts. I love it. It's definitely one of my most favorite concealers I've tried in a very long time. I do prefer it to the Colourpop concealer. I like the Colourpop concealer, but again, it just oxidizes a little too much for me. And the coverage of this, like, look at that. The Urban Decay one is just unreal. Gosh, why are my eyes so red? Now when I look close, they look really, really irritated. I wonder what didn't agree with me so well. And I'm gonna go on my chin and on my nose, everywhere else that we have left to blend. So I've been trying to go back to vegetarian diet. It's what I did a lot of the time. I really was never a strict vegetarian. Like if I had to eat meat, like if we're at my dad's like a grill man, and a lot of times there's only like, you know, meaty foods. I'll eat it, no problem. But if I have the choice, I'll eat more vegetarian. So that's what I was doing when I lost all that weight. So just getting ready for spring and summer again. I've been trying to get back into that a bit. Now, of course, let's set that all in and do a little baking. This is my Too Faced Peach Perfect Powder. I'm going to take some in the lid with my sponge and just plop that right in there. Do you know what I did this weekend? I watched a lot of drag makeup tutorials, and it started because I was on Facebook just kind of scrolling through videos, you know, as you do. And I saw this guy was doing a live stream of his drag makeup before he like went to perform that night. And then I was just addicted. I felt like a subscriber. I felt like I was one of you guys because I kept asking all these questions, and I was like, well, what'd you use for this? What'd you use for that? Hey, you didn't answer me about this. And I was like, could you repeat that name really quickly? I didn't get to write down what product that was. So it was just really fun. It's fun to kind of venture out and watch other people's routines, especially for something as exciting as drag. And I'm also going to take some of that down the nose. What did I get on my hand? There's like something orange on my knuckle. Just knocked a bitch out. No, I'm kidding. I didn't. And I like to go right into that forehead line because I get creasing up there. Trying to put off Botox as long as I can. Like, as in like a few more years. So the best way for me to treat my forehead lines is just fill those in. Then from there, I'm going to take my Sigma F20 large powder brush and my L'Oreal Infallible powder and use this to set in my face. I don't need much, just a little coating. And again, because this powder is also too dark for me, I have like all my summer makeup already and no makeup for now. I'm going to bring it down onto the neck. And you guys, I don't like to do this. I don't like to wear makeup that's deeper than it should be unless I have like self-tanner on. But it's what I have, so it's just what I'm going to use. Now let's do a little bit of contouring. I'm going to take my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. Is it shade plus light or shade and light? I never know. I'm going to take the cooler tone with my Sigma F77 contour brush. Why did I ever stop using this? I was just cleaning my brushes and I stumbled upon this guy again and I was like, that's like the perfect contouring brush. Why did I ever stop using it? I don't know. So I'm just going to take it on the edges of my nose here. Just like so. That was a little much. Okay, less product next time, SHAE. And then also some under the lips. Trying to get that full Kylie Jenner pout. You know what I'm saying, dog? Then I'm going to take some of that cool tone again through my contour and then blend upwards. I'm going to blend that out with more bronzer. This is just to kind of establish that contour line there. You know what? It's been a while since I cream contoured. I want to get back into cream contouring. I was never great at it, so I think that's why I kind of steer away from it. But like, you know, you shouldn't do something just because you're not great at it. You should learn. So I think I might try that again this week. And then on top of that, to kind of blur it out, I'm going to take this little F06 Powder Sweet brush from Sigma and go into the warmer bronzer of the palette. And I just kind of layer that right on top of the contour and swipe upwards. Kylie does have a pretty of bronzer and contour, so though this is a little bit more than I would normally do, I'm just trying to mimic the picture the best we can. You guys, I feel like we never talked about Kylie's baby, and you know how excited I was to find out if she was really pregnant or not. And then she had her baby, and I feel like I never talked to you guys about it. I'm just really excited for her. Love the name Stormy. It's adorable, even though I had a real problem with a girl named Stormy once. But that's okay. That's neither here nor there. That has nothing to do with Kylie's baby. But you know when names just like are attached to like someone and you're like, bleh? Like, have you ever had a disagreement or you just don't get along with someone with a certain name? So anytime you hear that name, you're like, meh, not so much. But it's a beautiful name. It really, truly is. And I think that's super cute for her baby. And then, of course, hit up that forehead line, you guys. Know the drill. Just bronze your forehead and pray to Jesus. That is our motto over here on my channel. I was thinking if I ever do merch, I would definitely have a shirt that said, just bronze your forehead and pray to Jesus. Bronze forehead, pray to Jesus. It's the only way we're going to survive in these crazy times. I think I just got some of this bronzer in my mouth and it didn't taste half bad. That's weird. Now, I never do this, but I know Kylie does it. So believe it or not, we're going to do some more baking really quickly underneath that contour. So I have some of my Too Faced Peach Powder, getting it on my sponge. I'm just going to drag it along there. I'm even going to take some extra on the sides of my nose contour. Okay, so while we finish this crazy baking process, let's move on to the eyes. So Kylie has no liquid liner or wing or anything on the top lash line. She just has black eyeliner. So I'm going to take my Sigma Beauty Long Wear black eyeliner, which is seriously, seriously long wear. And we're just going to do some tight lining with this. And then a few coats of mascara. I'm going to take my They're Real Lash by Benefit Cosmetics and coat that onto my lashes. We are going to be wearing falsies because Kylie has really pretty falsies on in this photo. So I don't need much mascara, just enough to be able to blend into the false lashes. Now I'm actually going to jump to sweeping off my under eye powder. So still working in the shade Light palette, I'm going to take some of the yellow. This is the Sigma Beauty 40 HD Kabuki brush. It's super cool. It just fits perfectly right around here. So I'm going to go ahead and start sweeping off that baking powder with this. I also like to bring it up on the side of the nose because this brush is really good at blending out powders. It is synthetic, of course, so you can blend out creams or whatever with it, but I love how it blends out my nose contour. See, all that nose contour doesn't look too crazy anymore, in my opinion, because of all the baking. And the center of the forehead, too. So next, let's finish off the under eyes. I'm going to smudge some of that emerald shade into our lower lash line. And I'm actually going to take a bit more of the very light, kind of aqua-y shade in the Kathleen Lights palette, taking it on a more wet brush. This is the E30 pencil brush from Sigma, and I'm just going to add this right on the inner corner because she has a nice metallic glow going on there. So my stupid camera just died as I was filming a few steps, you guys. You didn't miss much. All I did was add lashes. So these are the House of Lashes in the style Allura Elite. And I've never tried House of Lashes before, and I absolutely love these. They're like, I can't even feel them. They're so comfortable, and they're not like super obnoxious. I think if you're a daily lash wearer, this would be a great pair for you to have. So let's move on now. I'm going to go ahead and dust away our baking powder. And I like to just then run that foundation powder brush over my bronzer contour to just smooth it out, buff it out. And now it looks a whole lot more natural. Not a whole lot more natural, but it's not quite as obnoxious as it was before. So that's why I do that. Good. I should bake out my contour more often. I kind of like that. Okay, so for blush, in the picture, Kylie has this beautiful, just baby pink blush. And I think my Sigma Beauty Nymphia powder is going to be exactly what I want for this. You only need a very, very, very little bit because they are ultra pigmented. So just sweep that on the apples of the cheeks. This is my F15 blush brush from Sigma. Oh, love that blush. It's definitely like the perfect shade. It's like an exact match for her blush color, in my opinion. I love that blush. Okay, let's move on to highlighter. For highlighter, I'm going to take one of the new NARS shades. This is in the shade Capri. They have a ton of new, actually I think it's 6 new highlighters. If you wanted to see swatches, they are on my Instagram stories, or my Instagram, what are they called? Collections, moments. But yeah, this is the shade Capri. They have some really beautiful ones though. I really recommend you go look at those swatches. But I have not tried it on the face yet, so I'm excited to see. Oh, that's pretty. It looks very natural. It's like really diffused. And she has hers kind of going up right to the brow there. It's a nice glow. And then with my E34 brush, I'm going to go down the nose so we can keep it nice and thin. And on the Cupid's bow here. Now before lips, let's spritz it all. Still using my Too Faced Hangover spray. And then our very last step is going to be lips. Now Kylie has a super duper shimmery metallic kind of lip in her look. So we're going to try and create that. I'm first going to line with Oh Snap by Colourpop Cosmetics, their lip liner. And then on top of that, the most metallic thing I could find was my Skinny Dip Lip Topper by SHAE. So I'm going to try that. And that is it for my Kylie Jenner recreation look. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it's not exactly like hers, but honestly, let's be real, it's close enough. If you want to check out any of the products that I mentioned today, they will all be listed and linked in the bottom box down below for you guys, so you should find those very easily. I also list all of the brushes that I use, so you can find those as well. Definitely let me know which celebrity recreation we should do next. You can always tweet me a photo of a look you'd like me to recreate, because this was a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I love you, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye!